I'd like to pass one down for everybody.
How long have you been announcing my name for?
Get one and pass down.
What?
You can do it right now.
You tell me the day.
So Tom Tseng is with TJ Management. TJ Management, they are in the. He is with Commercial Real Estate Services, and he's been in business for about
13 years.
13 years now. So TJ Management is one of the leading professional, innovative property management companies in the Inland Empire. TJ Management, TJ is for Tom and Jeffrey, right? So TJ Management LLC is headquartered in Rancho Cucamonga, California, and is professionally managing properties beyond the Inland Empire. TJ Management expanded their coverage area to LA County, LA and Orange County, right? Are you in San Bernardino County now? You should be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tom and his partner Jeffrey believe that both service and technology are the ultimate tool to help their clients improve their service experiences, and also keep a long relationship with tenants to reach a high occupancy rate for all of their properties. They're always use the most up-to-date technology to help them with the day-to-day operations to maximize efficiency and respond to tenant needs promptly. Tom has been servicing the clients with residential and commercial real estate services in Southern California for over now 13 years. Tom is a reliable professional who specializes in managing residential and a multi-family property and is also a dedicated community builder in many cities. Please join me to bring Tom to the front of this meeting and tell us everything about his service, his family, and his professional career.
Thank you very much, David. Well, what David just introduced about property management was actually my old trade that I was in a few years back. I'm transitioning into commercial real estate and more specializing in buying, selling, or leasing of commercial spaces, which includes office, warehouse, and retail spaces. So today, I'm going to present to you one of what my job role and what I do. Imagining the money price tag is not an issue at the moment. If you are an investor and you are looking throughout different type of properties, my field is actually, you come across them on the daily life, such as CoCos or any businesses you go to. However, not many people know what commercial real estate is all about. So let's say if you have some money you want to put into investments, would you pick a Starbucks, Red Lobster, a gas station, Amazon Go, Rite Aid, CVS, or Dollar General?
Starbucks. Yeah, Amazon Go.
They are definitely great.
Wow.
CVS.
So how about Rite Aid and CVS? Which one would you pick?
CVS.
Yes. And if you look at the stock price, Rite Aid is only $1.73, while CVS is $73. So you want to pick. So ignore the. We're gonna come back to the text later, but please flip to the Jack in the Box page. One of the things that I look out for the client is what type of lease it is on, how much the price is, what is the return. So on the second page, you'll see the cap rate on the bottom. It is 4.58%. That means every $100 you invest, at the end of the year, you are going to net $4.58 without considering the loan. And the reason why it is price tagged at $1.8 million is because it is bringing your net operating income at $82,000 a year. And this Jack in the Box is located in Costa Mesa. It has been operating for 58 years on the same site. And it is currently on the second year of its 4-option period, with 2 years remaining on the lease. So part of the reason why it's so quote-unquote cheap, because this is the lowest price tag that we're looking at today, is because it doesn't have a lot of time remaining on its lease. There might be a time when it's vacant for 6 months, 7 months, if they do decide to move out. And the next page, we'll look at the tenant overview and how the financial is structured. So you'll see the lease term from 2021, 2022. The base rent, they only paid $9,000. That's for a year, meaning their base rent is only $800 a year. But what they are on is called a percentage rate rent, which means however much the gross business is operating on, they pay a percentage. In this case, it's a 5% of the gross rent, and they'll be paying to the owner. And that's why they are netting about $82,000 in the end of 2022. Lastly, we will look at where it is located at. I really like Costa Mesa because it's OC, it's close to the beach, it's where a lot of wealthy people are. And the building is really, really old. It is built in 1967 and renovated in 1915. So we are also going to take into consideration if in case the tenant does not maintain for us, how much it's going to cost us to renovate and bring it up to date for the next tenant availability. So that's one that come across my desk. Next, we'll look at Amazon Go, which is priced at $5.96 million, very expensive, but it is offering 4.85% cap rate. It's offering, for every dollar you invest, you get about 13 cents more compared to the Jack in the Box. We'll see the pictures. You can kind of see it has CVS, Target. It's on a single tenant location in front of Whittier Boulevard, which got 44,000 cars per day on it. It is on a triple net lease, which means the tenant is responsible for owner's tax, insurance, and their maintenance. So the owner does not have to worry about anything other than the roof and structure. And we're trying to always insure the owner because when a roof comes to replacement, it might cost like $50,000 to $100,000. Very, very expensive. So they also have a 20-year roof warranty to mitigate with the owner's risk. This one, they have about 9 years left in its lease, and the rent will increase 10% every 5 years. It has 4 by 5 year options, meaning if the 10 years expire, they still have the first right of refusal to continue the lease up to more additional 20 years. And their increase is pre-negotiated. That's why you will be able to see from current until 2027, 5 year, the rent is fixed. And 27 to 32, the rent is fixed also by growing 10%. What this, in short, reflects that you'll have 9 years, very, very safe, corporate guaranteed by Amazon, which is a very, very wealthy company, on your rent. And they'll guarantee to pay you $288,000 a year on this case. And then on the bottom right, you'll see as the 5 years and 5 years, currently is 4.85%. As the time goes on, it'll bring you 5.33, 5.87, and at the end of option 4, maybe up to 7.81% 2-year return. When we see that rent increase 10% every 5 years, we can already know that the property value will go up 10% in 5 years if considering at the same cap rate. So whatever this one is at 5.96 million, in 10 years it's going to become $6.5 million. And that's how we know as the owner is going to grow in appreciating our value. One more we're going to look at is a Starbucks. That is $3.3 million, cheaper than the Amazon Go. It is bringing even higher return at 5% cap rate. And it is also a brand new 10-year lease with 4 and 5 year options, 20-year options basically. The rent increase is the same. This is, however, a brand new building, 2023. So we do not have to worry about any of the repairs. And the reason why I want to show you different cases is because when we look at them, considering we're trying to let our dollar work for us at a stable rate, at a predictable rate. Let's say I brought a gas station in front of my client and say, hey, this one will bring in 6%. He will consider what's the risk in it. At the end of the lease, will there be a gas leak from the tank? Do I have to fix the soil? Is there any contamination to the ground if it's a car wash, dry clean? And so we look at that part. The reason why I put in Dollar General there is because they are very famous for selling at a high return. You are easily looking at 5.5% return on your investment compared to all these 4 that we just saw. However, their rent doesn't increase for the 15 years consistently. So 15 years down the line, your asset will be less valuable than if you were to consider the other properties. So we see so many buildings together, one in Reading, one in San Bernardino, one in LA, one in OC. How do we compare them side by side and put a dollar value onto them? So, just like, we are not discriminating against anyone. We're not discriminating against any building. Everything is compared by a dollar sign. And that's how we look at them. So, coming back to this text message, then I want to summarize the takeaway of what we just saw today. So there are different types of commercial properties that we see. Sometimes a strip center with multiple tenants. The pros is that you might be able to get higher return on paper, and you can have your tenant mix, such as a car shop with a wrap shop with an oil change with a car wash. So you can have your tenant mix to have a good combo, and you can also get a premium rent from mom and pops. And the con about it is that you have more operating expenses if you have multi-tenant, because there's property management involved, the repairs that involves. Single tenant, such as the one that we just saw earlier, they're all single tenant, corporate guaranteed, triple net leases. You're either 100% leased or 0% leased. So that's the risk we have. So thinking about how to mitigate that risk is our core. That's why we care about the corporate guarantee, the corporate credit level. If Amazon Go actually only has 32 stores throughout the world, and it just closed 8 shops this year. So it only has 20-some remaining. Then compared to Dollar General, which operates over 18,000 stores, it's a proven business model versus a business model in the testing. Which one are we going to go with? That's also something, because while Amazon Go has signed a 10-year lease with 20-year option, that 20-year option may never realize, because that business model may not continue to go for the next 10 years. And so about business types, we can invest in, an investor can choose on its retail, such as Amazon Go, restaurants such as Jack in the Box, office, warehouse, a gas station, 7-Eleven, or medical office. We looked at Davita in my past as well. If it's not publicly traded company, then it will be personal guaranteed by the tenant. If it is a publicly traded company, then we'll have a corporate guarantee. So we also look at business performances such as CVS, Rite Aid, Dollar Tree versus Amazon Go. Rent structure, you can pay a gross lease and have the owner repair things for you. Net lease, which is partial of, you pay partial of owner's expense, which might be property tax, insurance, or repair, one or the other. We saw some net leases where the owner is responsible to maintain structure and roof, or absolute triple net lease where tenant takes care of everything and there's absolutely nothing that the owner has to worry about in repairing, which was the Jack in the Box in that case. If it was to increase 10% every 5 years, that sounds like 2% every year. However, if we by compounding interest, if it was to increase rent 2% every year versus 10% every year, it's going to win out with 2% every year by the compound interest. So we also see some, such as $1.99 stores, which offers 1.75% increase per year. Anyways, a lot of numbers, that's what I work with. Let's take that Starbucks at Reading for an example. If I was to do a financial analysis to think about how to save tax for my client, this property is listed at $3.34 million with 5% income, annual income about $167K a year, $13,900 per month. These are actual incomes. And the first thing we do is we'll depreciate these 167 incomes we'll depreciate the property value by 39.5 years, which is $84,000. These are able to write off. Despite the fact that the property value is increasing over time, some genius thought that we can depreciate the property value, because just like a car, a building depreciates and dilapidates, it might need to be rebuilt. So we can depreciate them, and you can write off about $84,000. Your net income of $167 is a true income. What you're writing off, the $84,000, is your real gain that you're not paying tax on. So this is something that we're working, and this will write off down until the building value goes to $0 in 39.5 years. That's why people are selling to gain that tax depreciation ability. After that, if this property was purchased with a loan instead of paid through cash, the property interest that you paid on the mortgage is also tax deductible. So you already only had about $80-some thousand income, taxable income that you can report. If you had a loan and you paid interest, they're right off. Sometimes while you earned $167, you might be only paying a taxable income of about $15,000, $20,000. And that's what some of my clients using to gain their wealth. After 5 years, you know you're earning another $350,000, $500,000 in equity and value. While you're paying low on tax, and then when you want to sell after it has appreciated in value, there's 1031 exchange which David can help you do, where you can tax defer your earnings and your profit, and then to purchase two more properties. In the case that I was helping my previous manager, he is selling a 240-acre land, where his buyer is looking to build a $2 million square foot warehouse, one of like Amazon ones. So he was gonna sell for $19 million, and from this $19 million, he is tax deferring into 12 different properties, where each one of them are just like these little minions working for him, and he's taking the rent, tax sheltered, and going around the world to live his retired life. So this is one of my work prospect. If you know anybody, doesn't have to be this wealthy, but this is what I do, trying to help save, shelter the risk for the owner and analyze what is most profitable, which one these little minions will make the most dollar signs for the owner to each dollar invested. Thank you.
如果喜欢我的影片，想要看更多新房的话，请记得点赞、订阅我的频道以及分享给你的亲朋好友。如果有什么想要看的新楼盘，欢迎在下面留言，我会及时带你去看一看。